You're listening to Hot Sauce Sports with Mo Cohen, Peeze and Terry Tam.
I now know that I'm on with the big five, depending on who's the captain of this ship. That's probably a bad thing if this podcast is supposed to go viral, isn't it?
Cordero Patterson, like grabbing some shanks, gentleman here. And he quote, and I quote, "I'm a grown man. I don't need nobody blank and blank in my balls, my face."
In my teenage years, I'd get back from high school, I'd smash 2 pizza pockets. Carmelo Anthony never learned you can't live life just smashing pizza pockets.
Because he lost a double bet, what I did is I cut a jalapeno in half, and I filled it with hot sauce. So he's going to have to slurp this down.
Why you give me a fucking banana, dude? I'm not eating a banana. I'll rather piss in my mouth than eat this.
Okay, so there we go. Stop stalling. Let's go.
Now, here are your hosts, Mo, Terry, and Peeze.
Welcome everyone, you are listening to and perhaps watching Hot Sauce Sports. I'm your host, Peeze Delariz. Mo Khan has been auctioned on eBay. I sound terrible. Terry Tam, my co-host, also sounds terrible.
I look beautiful, though.
That's true. It takes a lot of cosmetics and a lot of drugs to keep us here and looking the way we do this evening.
And a lot of tape.
Yes, that's for the kidnapping. We're joined by, of course, a production staff that includes the Yawning Duke.
What's up, bro?
And the Eagle at Master Control. That's
the bird at Master Control.
That's all that production he's been doing. Terry, we live in a strange world.
Yeah.
When I grew up, and this is like ultimate old man Peeze moment. When I grew up, the
like
world I grew up
64.
in, there was one winner to a spelling bee. This time around, at the Scripps spelling bee, there was 8 winners.
How?
They just
Gave
ran
up.
out-
They ran out of
apparently
words.
they ran out of words. So like I was thinking about this. Like I figure we're 4 people who, if we're not intelligent, we are people.
Sure.
Can we come up with ways that we could have improved upon this?
You do a
Like instead of because 8 winners is no winner.
no, you can't take 8 winners. You got to take those 8 winners. Take
Yeah.
those people. And
Fight to the death.
Yeah, fight to the death. No, but you do you start ranking words in terms of like the strength. So
So someone's got like an easy path.
yeah,
They get like
some words are harder than others. So you'll get like like kind of like Jeopardy, where you would get $400 for one word, or $1,000 for another word.
You can do Russian roulette with the children. Last man standing.
That's dark.
all right. So maybe we can't come up with a better idea.
That's some dark shit coming from
It's
Eagle.
our last show, boys.
And that's why he's off camera.
Yeah. He's laughing. It's very disturbing, actually. No.
Russian roulette with children.
Please do us all a favor and never have children.
I mean, it can be like a Nerf gun if you want to make it better.
Okay,
Let's
yes,
stick
that's
with
much
that,
better, yeah.
please. The next thing,
The thought is going crazy.
like you can, like, what about words in different languages?
Sure. Like what? French? It's pretty much English.
Yeah, yeah, or
Yeah, but
German.
then you're giving an unfair advantage to the Indian kids
Yeah.
if you pick Indian words.
Yeah, that's fine. So you get rewarded for knowing more languages.
Shooting kids, Indie-ish. Eagles off his
Yeah.
fucking rocker today, man.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Duke, you have any ideas how do you improve the spelling bee?
Duke needs to work.
Yeah, well, we have one planned for the end of the show, so we're going to show everyone how to do a
Alright.
proper spelling bee.
So
And
we're gonna
that's the segue. This is the news. No, not even. Just not the Nerf gun. Terry, it's been a week full of news.
You can't even see it.
It's green.
This is too funny. This is amazing.
No, we're fucked.
I can assure you that it's not.
We're fucked.
Yeah, make yourself invisible by the end of the show. Like,
Yeah,
as we're discussing, just see how invisible you can make yourself.
Can we talk about how sick you sound right now?
I'm not feeling
What's
good.
going
guys.
on with you, bro?
Headline. Peeze is very sick.
Yeah, it's either an atrocious summer cold, which is the worst kind of cold, or atrocious allergies. I haven't figured it out yet.
You're sick. He's taping himself.
Yes.
Eagles, I don't know what the fuck's happening there.
He's just not
Am I
intelligent.
the only person with a normal brain today?
World class podcasting. Whoa, hey, I'm beautiful. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
All right, so go.
Um.
How sick is that?
Terry, we have
pretty
some
cool.
news.
It's actually pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool.
Okay, go. I'm listening.
The
You're so not, but let's go.
We have news. I know what they are. I wrote the fucking thing.
Oh, just
your
keep going. That's
Warriors,
really cool.
your
actually.
Warriors, as we
Yeah.
coined them, because you're a Raptors hater. They took game 2.
I'm not a Raptors hater.
I'm just going with the
And they're
narrative.
not my Warriors either. I said I picked the Raptors. I mean, I'm rooting for the Raptors this series.
I mean, are you though?
I'm just not rooting for their fans, so I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah. But then are you rooting for Golden State fans?
No, just let me do it.
There's no other work you need to be doing other than taping it?
There's actually a lot of work, but Duke has ADD. We all know that.
Yeah.
It just looks like it's just strings of.
This has got to be terrible for the audio listeners. So for those just listening to the podcast, Terry Tab, his face and body is slowly being covered in green tape. It is hilarious because we have a green screen. Now you all know. Now you know we don't record in front of an actual orange eye.
I noticed today that we didn't have a lot of views on YouTube, so. I noticed today we didn't have a lot of views
So
on
cover
YouTube.
your mouth so you can't talk in the podcast. Because that solves the YouTube issue.
Okay, I'm good. So yeah, so the Warriors won. Lottie, freaking da.
It's weird because the narrative seems to be, oh well, here the Warriors are back. I saw the game as, all right, the Raptors kind of blew it, and the Warriors almost blew it more. And if the Raptors could just hit a couple of wide open threes, this should have been an easy one.
Yeah.
They actually reviewed the last few minutes of the game and the final shot,
reviewed?
the NBA rather.
Yeah, he
and
traveled.
the final shot, the Curry actually traveled on that play. So it happens in
Fuck
instant
that.
slow motion replay, so fine. But
Fuck
just
off.
imagine. Just imagine.
Okay, so traveling happens a lot. They didn't catch it. If everybody watched the play, it's very quick. He was kind of falling at the same time. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, if they caught
As it's
it,
happening, I didn't think it was a trouble.
if they caught it, they caught it.
Yeah.
Whatever. But if they didn't, it happens so often in basketball.
Also, like, it doesn't excuse your inability to play basketball in the third quarter.
Yeah. It also, I don't think anybody on the court saw us traveling, so we can watch any replay we want.
Yeah.
But nobody on the court. Not
Nobody
even
was
the
like yelling
Raptors.
and pointing and.
That's it exactly. So it was a nice shot by Iggy. Would you have given the shot to Iggy? That's the whole thing now.
Well, the thing is, the way Iguodala's been playing, you let him take whatever shot he wants, including this game. By the way, he
Yeah.
wasn't very good.
No.
He 3 of 8. He had the worst plus minus of
Played
any
a lot
starter.
though. Played a lot.
28 minutes. He had 8 points. 8 points on 8 shots.
And three of those points were very important.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, he capitalized on a moment, and he'd been shooting terribly.
Yeah.
Like, he's the guy you want taking the shot for the Warriors at this
Iggy?
point, I'd imagine.
Iggy?
Yes.
No, Curry.
No, I'm saying, if you're Toronto, that's the shot you.
Oh,
you
okay.
up,
If you're
right?
Toronto, yeah, for sure.
So, look, it worked out. It worked out
wouldn't-
for both teams.
yeah,
right?
you don't
In
want
a
Livingston
sense.
taking the shot. You don't want Curry taking the shot, but they set it up that way, right? So,
Yeah.
Anyway, it worked
So-
out well for them. They were still in the lead, so 5-point victory. It was 109 to 104. It was a good game though. Very good game.
You
But-
noticed Drake
happy he's
being
going back.
quieter.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. No.
I mean, I guess, but I mean,
Classic Toronto fans. Like, go fuck yourself.
But I saw him chirping a bunch during the game.
Yeah, during the game.
And like the worst is, like, I don't even feel that he's been. Okay, I know that the massaging of Nick Nurse is.
I don't care about the
attention,
massage.
but I don't feel like he's been that bad.
My problem isn't what he's doing live when it happens.
It's what he's not doing when
It's
it doesn't
when he's
happen.
not doing it.
But it's because it didn't happen.
No, when he's not doing it, it's classic Toronto. It's classic Toronto sports fans. It's when nothing good is happening, they shut the fuck up.
Well, but like, isn't that what happens generally with trash talk? When you
No.
lose.
No.
Look, I'm with you because I never stop talking.
Yeah, same here.
Ever. Like,
Same
that's
here.
why we're on a podcast.
That's why we like the
because-
sound of our own voices.
Yeah.
No,
Not
but-
today, though. My voice is awful.
Mine's fine. I don't know about you.
Yeah. So one and
Why
one.
do I feel like Duke is recording me?
I am. It's live. I'm live on Facebook right now.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be a better way for us to live on Facebook
Yeah, yeah.
than in front of an actually green screen.
No, look,
Um,
I'm also showing them the other screen too.
I go back to my initial point that there's got to be a better way in 2019. But in 2019, they're going back 1-1. They're going back to Golden State. What's your view of the finals at this point? Has it changed at all? Is it like it's going back 0-0 at this point?
We all knew it was going to be a long series, so I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. I think they split again in Golden State, and then it'll come back to Toronto, and then Toronto will probably win that game, and then Golden State's going to have to win 2 games to win the series.
Yeah.
That's if KD doesn't come back.
And if Clay is healthy, because he didn't finish the game, was limping.
but it's just a pulled hamstring.
That's it. He
couple
just
days
has to stand in the corner and shoot a 3.
That's it.
So
what was it? He shot 14 points. I don't know how many points, and he dribbled the ball.
There was a game where he dribbled 4 times and scored 33 points.
That's what it was. He dribbled the ball 4 times on his shooting shots because he might have dribbled.
But he
it
also
4
he does move a lot.
yeah.
Is
He's
the-
very, no, but
It's where the ankle would be.
no
an
one's
issue.
gonna bash Klay Thompson for shooting up 33 points. But they look good, the Warriors. But they look good, and they still came
Not
up
defensively.
Yeah, exactly. They still came up very close.
The interesting thing about this series is I feel like people don't understand the physical nature and the physical toll basketball takes on the human body.
For sure.
Watch this finals because in the
any
end,
sport.
it's gonna be Van Fleet against Iguodala because everyone else is falling apart on the court.
Boogie's back.
Sorry,
Boogie's back.
Boogie's back was not 100%. Kawhi doesn't look 100%.
But Boogie
Clay's not gonna be
Boogie
100%.
played really well, though, I find.
Well, especially, and that's the thing. Steve Kerr made an adjustment in the second half. He allowed Boogie to play from the top of the key and worked more as a distributor, and ran the offense kind of through him, but it didn't have him posting up on the block necessarily, and it was just a really smart way to use him and sort of get him back into game speed. Whereas like the first game, it was like go stand in the corner and try and get it after the game speed, but.
Don't throw him in 30 minutes and crucial points of the game.
Yeah.
and things
Well,
like
they
that.
had to throw him in at this point because they had nobody else.
they had nobody else.
They had nobody else.
But I like Boogie in game 3. I'm, shake off the rust a bit. I like him in game 3. I think he'll do really well, and we'll see what happens because they haven't really had to face like a really dominant big man yet. Toronto. I mean, they had Joel Embiid who's kind of banged up. Didn't have a great series. They played against Yanni, who doesn't really play in the paint that much. Brooks
Well,
either.
He does. But he leaps from midcourt.
Oh,
to
yes,
get into the
exactly.
paint and then dunks on your face.
Brooks either. He doesn't really chill in there so much. So they haven't really played against a real big man that sits in front of the basket and can block you at any point of the game. So it's going to be different for them to see, but I don't see how Toronto won't make those adjustments. Siakam's been really well, been playing really well, and I honestly think it's their series in 7. It's tough to say, but Toronto's going to win in 7.
Yeah. Liverpool, they got their championship, their 6th championship. You're celebrating. I don't know why. Are you a Liverpool fan?
Yeah, I'm a Liverpool
All right, that makes more sense then.
It was fun. I was actually watching the game while I was working at a hockey tournament this weekend, but I was watching on my laptop with a friend of mine who's also a Liverpool fan, and without the sound. And we didn't realize the entire game that we were listening without the sound. That's how we were just staring at the screen.
Okay.
It wasn't a crazy game where it went back and
I was going to
forth.
say the opposite. I was saying that this is the kind of game where, from like everything I've read, everything I've seen about the coverage of this game, the criticisms that North Americans have about soccer, about it being slow, about it being
It was
a
a
dull game, like this didn't do anything to sell soccer in the North American market.
It was very technical. I will say that Tottenham had a lot of chances that they didn't bury. The first half, it seemed like they were a little nervous, Tottenham, and Liverpool scored 2 quick goals. So, I mean, 2 goals. So it's when you're playing, and they scored a goal the first 3 minutes of the game on a penalty shot. So, it kind of deflates Tottenham a bit. So second half they came out very strong.
I heard that it was playing on TNT in the States.
No idea. It was on DAZN.
Yeah, it was on the Zone for us for sure. But
Yeah.
I think it was on TNT, so maybe that could have contributed to
But the
lower
Zone
ratings
is
and stuff.
international. It's not just in Canada.
In fact, I would say the zone has a bigger footprint in Europe than they have.
Yeah, they show all of Italian league, the Primera. They show Bundesliga. They show Serie A.
We joke, and I am very transparently. I am the least soccer fan of the show.
You're at least soccer.
I am the least soccer.
There is so little amount of soccer in you
Yeah.
that you have no balls,
Yeah, if you look at my balls, they are not soccer.
or there are a lot of balls inside you.
Both can be true.
Both can be fake, also.
So what are you saying?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
Off
dying.
everywhere.
I'm dying. I'm sorry.
What do you want?
What do I want? A better show is what I want.
Like, I'm sick.
So
What do
far-
you want me to do?
No, this is gold. Yeah. So anyway, Liverpool wins. Great stuff. They salvaged the season because they lost the English Premiership. So it's good on them. I love that Klopp. Everybody loves Klopp. Jurgen Klopp. He's such a fun guy to watch. I wish we can get the picture of Mo Khan from Liverpool.
We're standing in front of me.
Because I only put it in the exactly in front of you. I only put it in the prep picture of Mo Khan in Liverpool. But
I got it, but
No, thanks. No, it's a little too late now.
He's not
Because we're probably gonna
'cause
move on.
We're about to move on.
We're gonna move on to
I
the
was
next
gonna
point
say
right now.
I don't got it,
benefit
but-
of the zone is the way I've been able to watch soccer and actually get back into it has been through the zone because
Yeah.
of all the games, and especially now there's no football.
Mhm.
So Saturday, Sunday mornings, as I'm starting my day. It's actually a pretty fun way to start your morning.
We're getting into the worst period of sports.
Baseball season.
June. Yeah. June. My birthday, but shitty for sports. Everything's done.
What I like though is we could talk about everything else. Which is awesome. I feel that's more of our lane anyway.
Our shows are going to be a lot of content-driven, non-sports related stuff.
Lots of narrative.
Next point.
Speaking of narratives, the heavyweight title changes hands as Joshua goes down. People making light of Ruiz's size and heftiness,
We love him
and people not actually knowing that. Yo, this guy's a real boxer.
We love this guy here at Hot Sauce Sports.
Yeah,
Love him.
we need him on the show. We need him as a sponsor. We need him on our label of hot sauce.
He is what we strive to be.
Yeah.
Fat.
Jolly, I would say.
It's true.
Just by looking at him, and you can see in this picture, there's some muscle definition there, but Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. What do you want, Eagle?
He is Thor in Endgame.
I'll tell you what he destroyed. He destroyed some mean lasagna. Easy.
So I had
Easy
no
game.
idea. I mean, I've probably heard the name before.
You guys want his weight? I'm on it.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
I didn't know that I wanted it until this moment.
I hadn't really heard of him. I probably heard his name, but didn't really care too much until after I saw that he beat him. So I checked some YouTube highlights and things like that. And this guy's a legit boxer, and it just goes to show how top heavy the heavyweight division is in boxing now.
As well as the fighter in particular.
Yes, absolutely. It just shows
shows
how top heavy it is because Anthony Joshua's first fight in the States comes in. I said it. You busted my balls about this that Josh should have won.
Do you have the sound eagle?
No, of course not. So
I only asked for it 6 hours ago.
Yeah. So Joshua.
It's a rough day for everyone today at Hot Sauce Sports.
Joshua.
More goal.
So Joshua, I said he should have won. I think everybody said. I don't even know what the odds were. I think he was plus 1,300 to win for Ruiz. But he killed him, man. He did exactly what he should do. He played dirty Mexican boxing.
Don't know if we can say that because that insults the sexual position.
No, it's a term in boxing.
Is it?
Yeah, Mexican style. Yeah.
So he's 6'2" and he's 255 pounds.
Jesus.
And Joshua is 6'7" and about 260 pounds.
Yeah.
So
never has two of the same weight look so different.
So Andre Ward has come out and said that he, right before he retired, he had a 3-fight plan. He was going to fight a duster, then he was going to fight somebody else, and then his last fight is going to be against Joshua. Which would have meant that he would have moved up a few weight classes, only because he knew the recipe to beat Joshua, and Andy Ruiz played out that recipe to knock him out in the 7th round, I believe it was, after he tagged him twice there before. Is impressive for Ruiz. Let's see how long he can hold on to these titles. But he has a guaranteed rematch now, so they're gonna have to fight.
But so here's the thing: is we talked about this last week. We talked about the trouble with the heavyweight division is that we have sort of a potential golden age of the heavyweight division, where we have these great stars who are starting to come to their own, but they haven't been fighting anyone. This to me is awesome because we see that it's more depth than even we thought.
Boxing is at its peak now, I find.
Yeah.
When we had Shaquille Finn on 23 episodes ago, I told him the same thing. Boxing's at its peak right now, and to see guys like Andy Ruiz, a young guy who, he got his opportunity. This was because the reason why he's fighting is only because Big Baby Miller popped hot for Mexican supplements.
Yeah.
For Mexican actual steroids.
Yeah.
And
I followed you, don't worry.
Yeah, but some people don't know what the reference. So he popped for steroids, so that's why on short notice Andy Ruiz comes in and fights him. So Joshua, now he's 40-1 with his one loss against a guy who took a fight on short notice. Clearly doesn't look the part, but plays the part well. So they're gonna have to fight again, and it's gonna be very interesting to see if Ruiz can beat Joshua again. Joshua does not have a claim to the throne anymore. Does not, and it's Wilder or Fury, and now this guy's in the mix, and who knows what's gonna happen. I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen. But on the other hand, if Wilder, Tyson Fury, or Anthony Joshua aren't in the conversation, I don't even want to fucking watch it. I don't want to hear a peep out of it. Like as a buyer, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's it.
Do you have the tweet by Stephen A. Smith and the answer by Andy Ruiz?
I'm on it.
Oh, I didn't see this.
It's actually pretty good. Stephen A. Smith, of course, freaked out.
Fuck him.
Like his job.
His job.
So
his
sorry,
job is
guys.
his job as a troll.
His job is to create content for ESPN, right?
Be a troll.
And he's on TV for so many hours a day. I don't even know where he watches sports. Like you can't be working 17 hours a day and then make time for sports. It makes no sense to me. But it feels like for this reason, he just gets out there and stands on platitudes and speaks loudly without necessarily having all the information. And look, I'm not going to disparage Stephen A. Smith. I think he's very accomplished in the field for a reason. That said, maybe take some less hours, give some money to other journalists, and spend a bit more time just researching. Because
No, but what he said was disgraceful. What he said was,
do we have it yet, Duke?
it's a disgrace that Anthony Joshua lost his fight. Why is it a disgrace that a guy who, whatever the fuck Ruiz's record was, I have no idea what it is. Why is it a disgrace for a professional boxer to beat another professional boxer? It's not a disgrace. A disgrace would be if Stephen A. Smith went into the ring with Andy Ruiz and Stephen A. Smith won. That's a disgrace.
I got it. Oh, you got it, Duke?
Yeah, so Stephen A.
Fuck Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith starts off by saying, I'm sick over this for myself, for the fight fans, and especially for Deontay Wilder, who should have won when administering
Should have, but
this
it's
key
fucking fighting.
TKO. Anyway, so he basically goes on to call him Butterbean. And Andy Ruiz in responds with, Stephen A. Smith, I encourage you to do your research before insulting my career. I know boxing isn't in your lane, but if you're going to talk about boxing, please study and know what you are saying.
Absolutely, he's 100% right. Because Stephen A. Smith is doing what Skip Bayless does that he hated on for so many years.
Yeah.
And Skip Bayless just talks shit to talk shit,
But
and hates on to hates
it was
on.
for the same reason. It was the Skip Bayless was just thrown on TV screen as much as possible.
Yeah.
And he had to come in and create content for ESPN, create controversy, create clicks. But when you're doing that constantly, you then put in. Look, how long is his show?
Stephen A?
Yeah.
Stephen A. has which show are we talking about?
His
TV
first
show.
take is an
TV
hour.
TV shows. No, the first take is a bit more. I think it's about 2 hours.
Yeah.
They cover a lot, though.
But then he has a 4-hour radio show after that.
Yes.
And then he's
Then he's on other
spare
shows.
second he's on Sports Center. He's on someone else's show. He's on I know the kind of work he puts in, but
It's a slap.
the problem is that
he's not doing anybody any favors with this tweet.
Oh, I agree. Especially saying the whole thing about fight fans. Well, fight fans probably know this guy's no slouch.
But it's not a disgrace. Why would it be a disgrace? What is disgraceful about another professional boxer beating another professional boxer? Nothing is
None.
disgraceful about that. It's like saying a disgrace is to see an 8 seed upset a 1 seed in the NBA Finals or the NHL playoffs. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So Stephen A. needs to, like Andy Ruiz,
Probably just lost money though.
stay in his fucking lane and learn a little bit, because Max Kellerman is the boxing guy in that one, not you. And you want to fall hard on your fucking comments, then it's fine. You're going to do that. He does it often. But it sucks for a guy like Andrew Ruiz who's worked hard his entire life for this opportunity. He gets the opportunity, wins, and then he has a guy like Stephen A. Smith who can't fucking tie his gloves telling him he's disgraced to boxing. Go fuck himself.
By that you mean winter gloves.
Yes, absolutely.
Bristol, Connecticut gets cold in winter. Neymar.
Mm.
He has been accused of rape. And it appears as though, while that might not be the case, he may now be
laughing at the
arrested for cyber crimes
title.
because of the information he put out to exonerate him in social media. So just a really, really interesting, really strange scenario. So
He's a joke, this guy, too.
a woman who's not been named, still been her identity's been protected. Set up her phone to film something in her room when Neymar went back to her room. According the official stance of Neymar is that when he walked in and saw the camera set up, he immediately tried to leave. She jumped on him. He basically put her down to be able to just separate himself so he can leave the room. And then he produced a plethora of what he termed to be evidence that says, this isn't a legal case, so we don't know if he's
Or the
selecting
camera.
just the parts.
So where's
of
the
it.
camera? Where's the video?
I don't. But that's been submitted to the police actually.
Oh, it is, okay.
So we don't. But that's
So
it's still
why are
early
you
to know.
setting up a camera in your room? Are you expecting to be assaulted?
I don't. And if you are expecting to be assaulted, why are you inviting that person?
Do you like to be assaulted?
I would imagine not.
Because you can get them film and then blackmail them.
Okay. So blackmail him then. Don't press charges on him. If that's the case.
Well, that's
You know what I mean?
and that's
So now she's not gonna get a
Neymar's
penny.
Neymar's camp did not respond to the blackmail, and they seemed surprised that she went to the police. Now, the thing is that
I don't think anything's gonna come of this.
well, I mean, look, it's early to tell because we don't know all the stuff that's been submitted to police. We know when Neymar's put out, which again, if there's anything that made him look bad, I don't think he would have put that out on social media, right?
Exactly. I don't think that.
So-
I think he's clean on this one.
Well, but
Personally.
but we don't.
Hopefully
there's
nothing
There's
happened.
no way to know.
And if he doesn't, nothing happens to him, then we know.
Yeah, well, that's it.
If he
So
doesn't have to pay
we're
anybody
we're months, if not years, away from finding out.
That's it.
Of course,
And he'll
but
still play, and he'll still make
It-
$300 million a year.
It's
and
one
blah,
of
blah,
those
blah.
things where again, people are either insanely quick to jump in and attack him or jump in and exonerate him. And it's for me, it's like, okay, well, it's interesting. I never imagined we'd be at a point where someone would take to social media and be like, here's why I'm innocent, and then be able to sort of like clear their name. But like, of course, the court of public opinion matters for athletes and so on. Like it never has before.
Yeah.
But now we have to wait to see, of course, how this all plays out. Because again, once you're in public trial, once you're in trial and stuff, that all changes. One thing that should be reexamined, along with this case specifically, and along with what we mentioned, the spelling bee, is the savage attack laid by researchers on dodgeball.
Yeah, this is straight bullshit.
What do you mean?
Do you got it, Duke?
I don't know this story. What is this?
So,
I
do you have the info, Duke? All right, I don't know. Just say no. You have a microphone.
So
I don't know why you're
You
mad at
can
me.
ask me beforehand.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know if you were currently looking at it.
So there's a research group in BC. I think it's University of Victoria. One of the
Canadian.
It's Canadians
That
coming out
explains
of
everything.
Canada, where they analyzed a whole bunch of school ground activities and basically said that they're dehumanizing. So, for example, tag. It singles out one poor participant, often the slowest child, and he becomes it, not even a person, just it, who then runs around vainly in pursuit of the quicker ones. They also mentioned that capture the flag is nakedly militaristic, and of course,
I don't remember getting naked playing capture the
And
flag.
here's-
I don't know if these researchers know how to play the game.
here's the full quote from the paper. But none rouse the passions of reform-minded educational progressives quite like dodgeball, the team sport in which players throw balls at each other, trying to hit their competitors and banish them to the sidelines of shame.
But okay, so
I'm so confused with this, man. Like, okay, so now dodgeball is gender fluid? Is that it? Because you're calling somebody it?
No, that was
no,
tag.
That's tag.
Tag, sorry.
No, dodgeball is just, it's violent in the sense of you give the better kids
there was-
the ability to hurt the
But they
smaller
were
kids.
saying it also it hurts.
Yeah.
It
I'm
forces
throwing the ball at the weaker kid. For sure. I'm going to fucking win this fucking game. And that weaker kid needs to fucking step up to my level.
Which
That's
weird
what
is
it's
how
gonna
they
be.
talk about how it leads to conformity, but in the end, it's a team game, and there's a chance to return to the court if someone catches the ball.
Yeah.
So like, there's a whole redemption side of it
Yeah.
too, which I feel
Which is
missed.
what North America is built on, second chances.
Exactly. It's like, listen, sometimes in life, you get your bills, you gotta dodge balls straight in the nuts. That's what it comes down to. Other times, you get yourself a paycheck. It's like someone caught the ball for you. Back in the game.
Back,
Back
in
in
the
the
game. Done.
That's
Exactly. Boom.
Life is dodgeball.
I like dodgeball. Dodgeball was fun. Capture the flag, whatever. That was pretty shitty. But dodgeball was fun.
Yeah. Also, I had
Because
this
I
like,
for sure would go after
But,
eagle.
don't all sports aren't isn't a sport the point of all sports to take advantage of other teams' weaknesses?
but that's the thing is there's a movement to say that any games or challenges where there's winners and losers, like promotes, I don't know, toxicness
toxic masculinity.
or not necessarily masculinity. I don't know what it promotes, but bad stuff. I don't know what it promotes because I don't necessarily agree. Eagle, do you have a take? You look like you.
I was just going to say, when we're looking at tag, imagine if you tag someone, you go, tag, you're it, and it's like, I prefer to be called Z.
Literally
I
fucking
actually I have this
out of this fucking game. Douche.
One of my earliest memories
Dodgeball to the face.
was like my first week in grade school, and I remember playing tag and not really knowing the rules, and also I didn't really speak English, so that didn't help me at the
What do you
time.
mean you didn't speak English?
I only spoke Italian until about 5 years old. I grew up. I lived a very different lifestyle.
Weren't you born here?
Yeah, but I live with my grandparents.
Did you learn Greek
It
first,
seems
Terry?
strange to be interviewing me about this on the show.
Yeah, I guess so. But I spoke English at home.
Yeah, I didn't speak English.
But because a lot of people were raised by their grandparents, right? So
Yeah, so I was on the playground where I spent most
especially
of my days,
Europeans.
and I was tagged early in the game because I didn't know what I was doing, and I
Got
was
tagged
told,
with like herpes, or
and I
what?
was told like you're it, and I thought that it meant I could no longer play, so I ran away into the corner of the playground and I cried because I thought nobody likes me. I can't speak the stupid language. I don't understand.
Oh,
the
it must be
stupid game."
frustrating for a 5-year-old.
Yeah. That said, you then learn to play the game, and it's awesome. I fucking love tag after that. Tag was I would play so much goddamn tag. That and hide and seek. Hide and seek is the craziest shit. Love that. You never give you there's never more of an excuse to run through your neighbors' yards and sneak into their homes.
We used to play
than
hide and seek with walkie-talkies in my neighborhood.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
The best
Fun.
was doing it in someone's house and finding like this weird closet that you have to climb in,
And
and it's like
pornography.
super sketchy to step on that step, but you did it anyways because
Yeah.
you didn't want to have your feet on the ground.
That's it exactly.
Yeah.
I love
Then
that
it collapses.
Shit. I love that shit. We did it a couple years ago. New Year's Eve in my house, we played hide and go seek. We closed all the lights and it was pitch black. Couldn't see anything. It was amazing.
Terry was 31 years old.
I was 31. Yeah.
We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about more childhood games as well as the game of hockey. We are deep into the NHL playoffs. We're talking with Hot Sauce correspondent Kristian Johnston-Galvez. Looking forward to talking to him. He's a really bright guy, funny as shit. Can't wait to talk to him right after this.
And you can subscribe. Yeah, you can always subscribe.
They get the shows, then they choose to listen to it or
subscribe
not.
on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then follow us at Hot Sauce Sports on every social media.
No one, you can't be oversubscribed because that's not a word.
Exactly. So
So-
subscribe just the right amount of time.
Be a word. And by that we mean games you play outside.
Oh,
Do kids still play outside?
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, I think so.
I feel like every time I go by a park, it's super eerie because there's no one there. Reminds me of that scene in Terminator where like it's nuclear winter and it all just disintegrates.
Not everybody lives where you live, bro.
Okay.
You live in a nuclear holocaust.
How about we let
Stay
Kristian
here.
answer the
Yeah, stay here.
fucking question?
Listen, he's our guest and he talks when we want. Go ahead, Chris.
Favorite childhood game growing up was we played this version of Jackpot where you threw a tennis ball off a wall, and then we'd kill each other for the ball. I remember
Like
coming
murder?
back with like straight up murder. I remember
That's cool.
my brother bleeding, my brothers like both of them just blood everywhere. We got a lot of trouble playing that game, but we tried every time. It was fun.
And little Timmy, for the record, as a matter of public record, just fell down the well by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't die playing. We used to call that game suicide in my grade school. So I know that game distinctly. What about were you a dodgeball player? We talked about dodgeball in the last segment. How researchers saying dodgeball apparently is bad for kids.
Well, I can probably tell you that it isn't great for kids because the only time I played dodgeball growing up was as a camp counselor. So I was like 15, 16, 17, and we worked at this camp in Pierrefonds. And at the end of every day, we got to play dodgeball for like 45 minutes. And all we did was counselors versus kids, and we pegged the kids we hated most in the face.
Nice.
Well, it's not as bad as what Eagle said earlier. He wants to play Russian roulette with kids.
Yeah, that was weird, dude. You need to re-examine just the way you think about life.
All the frustration we had, just take this huge ball right in the kid's face.
That's good.
It
As long
makes
as
for
you're
a
not
good
taking
day.
bullets like Eagle is. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, so the thing is that we now believe that you're part of this anti-dodgeball lobby. Christian, so I don't know if we can take you seriously now when we start to talk to you about the NHL playoffs.
We
It's
might have
now
to cut this conversation short.
it's now
Yeah.
2-2. And we now need to know your entirely biased opinion of the playoffs. Now that we know that you can't be trusted because you work for the anti-dodgeball lobby.
I also work for the anti-Bruins colony, so how's that?
Listen, man, we can't be friends because I told you I can't support Pam. She's a piece of human garbage. to Jim.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Get yourself a boyfriend like Jim. Is all I'm saying. Which
Yeah.
are the Boston Bruins.
I get it, but think of the fact that the Blues have John Hamm,
Oh,
and he's pretty cool.
he's also got a fat cock on that guy.
That's what I've heard. You know, every time we see him on screen, that's all my brother says. Have you ever heard he's got a huge cock?
Yeah, everybody knows that he's got a wrench on him.
Well, that's what you chose the stage name Ham.
He's got a niece.
Like a huge hog.
Yeah.
We gotta get him on the show just to ask him that one question and then hang up.
Hey, John, I heard you got a big piece. Yeah. All right. Fuck you.
Bye. Can we interview a fake John Ham next?
Yes.
Just ask him that one question.
call-
Just
let's
a person
call-
saying yes.
Let's call his stunt double in a
Right.
movie. So yeah, what were we saying? Talking about
Hockey.
cocks. Oh,
Hockey.
okay. Yeah. So speaking about cocks, so the Blues win last night 4-2. I won some money. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. It's great stuff. Honestly, I love the way O'Reilly's been playing. I think he's very underrated as a player.
Have you ever gone back and looked at what Doug Armstrong traded to get Ryan O'Reilly?
No, what was it?
Okay, so it's 3 guys.
This is from Buffalo, right?
Yeah, from Buffalo. Okay, so St. Louis offered to pay his signing bonus this year, part of the deal, because they traded him on July 1st, and they gave up Tage Thompson, who got 12 points this year, which was less than O'Reilly got in the first 2 rounds.
There you go.
They gave up Patrick Berglund, who, without joking, literally quit the Buffalo Sabres,
Yeah.
like not paid, and went back home.
Yeah.
They got Vladimir Sobotka, who also got 11 points this year, I think, and a late first-round pick because the Blues can't stop winning.
So as you're saying this on our screen, we have a massive picture of
John Ham's cock.
John Hamm's cock stretching his pants.
Like walking looks so inconvenient for him.
Yeah. Like he for sure has hip problems. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, let's say that we wouldn't trade for that because that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So now it's 2-2. They're heading back to Boston.
Wait. Hold on.
What?
I'm just curious. So they traded these 3 random guys for this dude O'Reilly.
Bag of pucks, basically.
But
Yeah.
they couldn't have found a better trade package for him.
But no, because back then O'Reilly was a guy who didn't get a lot of penalties.
But weren't the Habs interested as well?
Oh, yeah, O'Reilly. was,
He's always been really, really good. His issue is that he's never been like an elite point producer. And last year, at the end of the season, he kept saying that he hated hockey now because Buffalo sucked.
Nice.
So they were like, "Oh, we got to get rid of him because hockey culture is apparently all locker room."
yeah.
So they were like forced hands to get rid of a guy that is an elite player, probably the best player on the Sabres, and I'm including Eichel last year, and they got nothing to show for it whatsoever.
I like O'Reilly. Always have very good player. He's a guy
Yeah.
who never got a lot of penalties, so people thought he was soft. But if you look at it, he's just
It's such a weird way to look at the
no.
game.
But in hockey, it's like okay. So if you're getting 2 minutes, he had 2 minutes one year. 2 minutes.
And I think it was for a broken stick.
Yeah,
It wasn't even like a real call.
So how many goals did he have?
Yeah, but I know that's what I'm saying.
Isn't that how you win games?
No, but hockey. But the thing is, he's not a guy who's going to get you 100 points, right? So he has to do something else. He has to produce other places. So
you're so effective at doing those things. You
Yeah.
do them without creating penalties
Yeah.
and disadvantage.
no, but it was a little knock on him because it's kind of like a measurable to say is he tough? Does he go deep? Does he get into the corners? Does he like that kind of thing?
I'll
But
tell you
at
what
the
you
end
Ryan
don't even
O'Reilly
measure all
is.
those things like time spent in corners and so on and so
Time
forth.
spent outside the box.
The best way that I can describe Ryan O'Reilly is he's exactly what everyone thinks Jonathan Taze is.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Right.
true.
He can
Well, I mean,
he can do everything.
what Jonathan
He's
Taze was.
big too, but Taze is not still at. I mean, he had a good year this year. I'll give him that, but he's never been top 100 player. My ass, no chance.
Huh?
Yeah,
Jonathan Taves.
Jonathan Taze, no chance.
Ah, come on, Christian.
Hot take Christian right here.
Christian, come on. He's not 100. Maybe not this year. Maybe not last year, but tell me he's not top 100 in the league. I can.
No, the all time when he made that all
all-time.
time list.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's top 100 now for sure. He's a top 30 center, but he's not
I might put him in the all-time, but I have to actually make the list. I don't know.
over Malkin
I'm
and Joe
him I'm
Thornton.
putting him exactly at 86.
All right.
Exactly 86.
Right in the Joe Newendike area. Just
Oh,
throw him in there.
I love Joe.
The right as we were getting ready for the show, Zdeno Chara, it's been announced here. Zdeno Chara's not going to play Game 5. He's going to be eating lots of soup.
It's a big loss.
He's got a broken jaw. How do you think this
Yeah.
impacts the Bruins?
Well, if they're going to play Steven Kemp for Blues and 6,
Really, that
True,
much?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
this guy logs all their minutes, penalty kill especially. And I love Torrey Krug, but the other guy that they had, what's his name, Matt Greshlik or whatever how you pronounce that last name.
McAvoy.
That was the guy that could skate on that blue line on the left side. I don't want Stephen Camphor playing more minutes. I don't want John Moore playing more minutes. And if Krug can't play 45, well, I don't like any of those guys.
So Krug is a number 1D on most teams. McAvoy will be, maybe not yet.
Yeah.
Chara, as slow and as criticized as he's been throughout this playoffs, I think that he still brings a certain thing and like a certain je ne sais quoi, I will say.
He's really good at this one thing, which is not getting called for obstruction when you should be called for obstruction.
They always say, he's just really big.
No.
But the thing is about Chara is that he takes up so much space, right? Especially on the PK, like you mentioned. He takes up so much space in that long stick. He's able to break up plays and things like that. So that's what Chara does well.
That reach is so hard to get around. They ask any player like to get around a guy that stick that long. Like, well, ask the girls that have dated John Hamm, I guess. Yeah.
The thing with
that's what she said. Another Office reference.
Another thing that came up today is Erik Karlsson. One of the rumors is that he may be going to Montreal. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I would love Erik Karlsson here, but have we seen what happened with PK Subban? Do we want that all over again?
Well, see, Terry is on the wrong camp. He's on the wrong side of history here.
Okay, so if he signs in Montreal, it would have to be something like around $775 million, something like that. $775 million.
Wait, you're going to give him, with his body falling apart, you're going to give him 7 years?
He's going to get it.
That's insane.
Well, I mean, they have the money to waste it, so if he's not good, he can be an LTI or something in the world.
After 3 years, you know what? Give him the first half of the year, recuperate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know we're going to have you for the next few years. And he's still 29. We said it last week.
Yeah, but he's like the oldest 29-year-old in the history of 29.
I get it.
He literally has like 1.5 ankles. But, okay.
1.5, if anything. He has no groin anymore. But the thing is about Karlsson is that he was considered to be the best player in the league just like 2 years ago. So
I still think if he gets back to healthy, and it's probably very likely that he does, because we saw it for 20 games in San Jose there, where he was putting up more than an assist a game. That's still the best defenseman on the planet right now. The only problem becomes in Montreal, then if you think Jolson's ready, then you got 4 righties.
Yeah, that's
and 3 big ones.
But then doesn't that give you the opportunity to then trade for assets?
See, that's what I said today. Actually, not that I have a huge following account on Twitter, but on Twitter I posted that, and everyone's freaking out. Like, oh, you got to trade Jeff Petrie, but wouldn't it be fun if Weber was the guy that went, and you got Petrie and Karlsson playing 25 minutes each, and the puck is just flying out of your zone.
Yeah, the way he played last year, Petrie, I don't mind, but that's if he plays that way. He's been very inconsistent. He's known to take a year off. You know what I mean? So Weber, where you know exactly what he's going to give you, and he's going to give you that.
Yeah.
Do you trade Weber for assets? He is your captain. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think Claude Julien is going to get rid of Weber.
I don't think they'll do it, but I think it'd be fun.
It'd be fun to see what they can get for him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's tough for Montreal. They're in a position now where it's like, they're not going to win next year. And are Weber, let's say if they get Karlsson, Karlsson, and Price, are they going to be young enough and willing enough in like 3 years to be a contender? Because their team is young enough to build in 3 years. But they
won't be there for when it's...
Can they go all in and try and get Duchesne too? Because I heard that he might want to come here too. Friedman was saying that on his podcast this morning.
They should go all in and get Marner. Fuck anybody else.
They have, just for the record, they have 11.7 projected cap space this year.
Yeah.
And very few people in UFA or RFA coming up soon, to be honest.
Well,
all of it should go to Marner.
Too?
Sorry?
Isn't Panarin available too?
Panarin's available. Bobrovsky's available. We don't really need a goalie.
That's right. I pronounce his name super weird.
They're both going to Florida.
The bread man.
They're both going to Florida.
Yeah, I mean
it's pretty much signed already. Like we knew it at the beginning of the year.
It's just because they want to have lots of sex.
Yeah.
The issue with Marner making more than 10.
Sorry, go ahead, Kristian.
If you're offering Marner that kind of money, that is 4 first-round picks you have to give up right away. 1. And 2, not that I'm a Marner hater whatsoever. The guy's incredible, but I have skepticism about a guy who jumps 25 points in one season playing with John Tavares when John Tavares' entire career is making his wingers money.
That's true. It's a good point. But I will say this is that I'm not a guy who likes to give a lot of credit where it's not due. And watching Marner, I think that he's at a different level. He reminds me a lot of Patty Kane, honestly.
It's very similar styles on the half wall too. It's the way they move around, the zip. his entire style of play relies on passing, and I don't know that the Habs have a goal scorer that can pot those 40 goals.
That's not what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah.
think
Because they don't have that.
I'm just saying Marner individually, you separate him from the group.
Yeah.
He is worth that money, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough sell. If they have to go one or the other, if it's Carlson or Marner, I'm saying that you go Marner for the future.
Oof. Yeah, okay, see, I wouldn't give up the 4 firsts. If I'm
Yeah,
gonna make a
it's
lot of
tough
money
that
on a guy like that, I'd probably go Carlson just to see what it could do.
But you're giving up 4 firsts. You know what you have. You know what you have coming up. Let's say Jolson's ready. Then you have Suzuki, obviously. You have Paling coming up too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that are in that mix, and then you're still drafting. You might not be drafting in the first, but you're still drafting.
But do you want to give Kyle Dubas 4 picks? Because that's a guy who's got pretty good track record in his draft, and I'd be pissed seeing them right across the border there.
Yeah, it's in the division too, so it's a little tough.
So, Kristian, thanks for joining us. You want to plug your Twitter while you're here?
Yeah,
Those
it's
followers.
at Chris6or7. My handle is Big Idiot because usually my takes are pretty dumb.
That's you.
Yeah.
I was like, who the hell's Big Idiot? He's answering me.
Yeah. Known for my stupidity, especially on Twitter.
I was gonna say, this guy's a real big idiot.
I'll be writing stuff for Hot Sauce, so you can see my hot takes there if you want.
Definitely our most prolific writer to date. Thank you, Kristian, for joining us. We now know your thoughts on how to hurt younger children in the game of dodgeball and why that's good for them.
Take it all at the end of the day. It's good.
Seriously, thanks for joining us, and sorry that you're gonna have to watch the Bruins win again because Jim Halpern and good karma. We'll talk soon, bud.
It was a pleasure, guys. Ciao.
And you can subscribe. Yeah, you can always subscribe.
They get the shows, then they choose to listen to it or
subscribe
not.
on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then follow us at Hot Sauce Sports on every social media.
No one, you can't be oversubscribed because that's not a word.
Exactly. So subscribe just the right amount of time.
Be a word. Being a guy who never played the game, I never really understood hockey the way he does. So it's awesome to be able to get that information. Terry, we had a chance to talk to him about a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, Christian's good, man. He knows what he's talking about. He coaches hockey too, so I like talking to him about hockey. It's interesting. He always has a good take.
Speaking of takes, it's time for us to drop some takes because it is time for rapid fire. Let's see if Duke gets it right this time.
MLB draft.
The answer is no. The MLB draft to me is always interesting because, like, you hear about all sorts of guys and all sorts of names that
I have no idea who these guys are.
we'll never remember them.
No, I won't remember who Adley Trutchman is.
I already
know
know
who that is.
No.
He's the first round pick. He's the first overall pick.
Yeah. That's true.
First overall pick from Oregon State catcher. Apparently, he's like the next Paul Goldschmidt. Does that mean anything to you?
I mean,
Well, it does,
kinda.
but it should.
To me, it means
Paul
something, but to a
Goldschmidt
guy
should
who
mean
maybe
something. Yeah.
you know Paul Goldschmidt.
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
of course.
Play with Diamondbacks forever.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, like, Goldschmidt's good too, but that's like saying, like, you know, he's also like a star with no charisma.
Yeah.
And like a guy who's a
Diamondbacks.
Great player though.
yeah,
Both.
exactly, like a team that's been kind of nowhere forever.
Yeah.
So like,
You know who the Mets took?
Wait, who did you?
I don't know this.
Who did you say was the first round pick?
Adley Trutchman.
I when I read the name,
Yeah,
it didn't. I didn't read it that
Thanks
way.
for confirming, Dave.
It's because there's so many. I never realized there's this many rounds.
The Mets.
it's
The
like
Mets
40
drafted a guy-
rounds?
There's 40 rounds. Yeah. The Mets drafted a guy named.
They're just guessing though, right? Like, there's no way they
Brett-
scouted that many people.
The Mets drafted a guy named Brett Beatty, something like that.
I like that because baseball, it's about the name.
It's always about the name.
If you draft together, it's like in Madden. Like, you don't want to draft together a crappy name. then you're stuck with that
You
stupid
know
name.
a player's good by his name, and like Paul Goldschmidt is a baseball name.
That's a baseball name.
Adley Trutchman, I don't know. That doesn't sound very baseball to me.
That's
He might not-
lacrosse.
Yeah, he might not have a good career.
I don't know about you guys. These names don't sound very Dominican.
Fuck, you're on
You're
fire.
having a
today.
rough night.
Eagle,
dude.
you're on fire today.
It's like the 4 things we need to avoid. The only 4 things you need to avoid.
on.
Fine, they don't sound Puerto Rican.
All right.
He's not
You're
helping us.
playing Russian roulette with your fucking
Life.
yeah right now. That's bad on my standards.
My Kawhiiest place.
That's good. I like that one.
Yeah. So
His Kawhi's place. Kawhi bought a
You
house in
said-
Toronto.
yeah.
His vacation home in Toronto. So Kawhi bought a vacation home in Toronto. He's gonna be staying living in LA. and vacationing in Toronto.
That seems like the worst version of that, though, right? Like, why would you want to vacation Toronto? Like, Toronto's not as bad a city as it gets a rap for. It's a metropolis.
It's like people who have condos in New York.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it may just be he knows some people in the real estate game. Are like, you should buy this. It's a great deal.
The Airbnb.
And he's just looking to make some extra cash.
Kawhi Leonard's gonna Airbnb.
Yeah, because didn't someone already offer him a free place to stay?
It's all bullshit, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
Someone just comes out and says, "I'm going to give you a free place to stay."
Imagine he says yes.
Maybe he would.
Yeah, and he's just betting. Because Kawhi seems like the kind of guy that would take things that are free.
Yeah. Well, Damon Lillard's known for being cheap, so maybe Kawhi's
Really,
the
yeah?
same way too.
Well, there's another cheap basketball player we're gonna come up with later. It would have been good if we put these two together.
As the NFL turns,
Bunch of stuff going on in the NFL.
There you go. Thanks, Eagle. Now, as the
Wait.
NFL turns, Gerald McCoy signs with the Carolina Panthers. I like this, though. I like the sign for the Panthers.
I mean,
I'm surprised he went there because he could have went to Baltimore. They're building a nice defense over there.
he fits with Carolina.
Fits anywhere.
Reminds me a lot of when Carolina signed Julius Peppers in
Yeah.
a lot of part of his career. Had a resurgence there. Carolina is known for a place that sort of harbors older NFL players and allows them to extend their career. I don't know what it is they do well from a training perspective, whatnot, but it allows for this to happen. So we've seen it before. I don't know why we can't see it again. But honestly, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening in the NFL, and none of it means anything because we don't know. For all we know, McCoy will never play a game.
No, he'll play. He'll play.
You know, it just
He'll play and he'll do well too.
It just seems
in that
like
division, it's a very pass-heavy division. He's the third most in sacks since 2011, since 2010. So for a defensive tackle, so I mean, I think he'll do well.
I just feel like the NFL, they realize, there's nothing happening. You know, like on off days between the NHL and the NBA
There's a
playoffs.
lot happening.
There's just baseball, whatever,
Yeah.
and they just steamroll it with their.
There's no highlights, but there's a lot of news.
Well, it's it, but it's the soap opera that's become the NFL.
And not to mention, he gets to play his former team twice.
That's true. There's also AB. Sorry,
Did you notice that Ndamukong Suh took his number? He wore number 93. I don't know if that's a number he wore.
He always wore that. He
Okay.
wore it with the Dolphins. All right.
a few good 5-year-olds.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen.
Hey,
He did.
should-
Wait, so he's not suing a
Can
5-year-old.
we have chosen a better name than that? Like, what the fuck?
a few good
few
men.
good 5-year-olds?
Didn't you write that one?
I wrote that
No,
one.
I didn't
Oh,
write
you
that
did.
one.
I googled.
Mine are always very clear. Like, person does this. Those are mine.
And then I need to change them. No, it's because it's a few good men. I just
good 5-year-olds. That's a bad one. That's an Eagle up standards.
I googled court movies and then came up with a pun based on it.
Okay.
The thing is,
Scotty no tipping Pippin.
Scottie Pippen's known for not tipping.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to be known for when you're a multimillionaire. The other thing is, he's not actually suing a 5-year-old. He's suing the
suing the
family
parents, yeah.
for wrecking his property. But the 5-year-old is part of this because the 5-year-old apparently drew on the walls and just created a disaster.
Bitch.
Yeah. Don't you know not to draw on walls?
Fuck you, little
What kind of parents are these?
You know, we should be playing Russian roulette with that 5-year-old.
No.
No? Oh, sorry,
no.
Eagle. I tried to jump on your bandwagon.
No.
Um,
Just blame the parents. It's
so
always safe to
they
blame
rented
parents.
the house at $30,000 a month
Yeah.
during Hurricane Irma
Mm.
in Florida. And he sues them for $109,000 for damages because of fucking crayons and markers.
Yeah, it seems like he could have found someone to clean it for cheaper. I don't know.
But wait,
Like, I would have done it for $50K. Just saying. Yo, Scotty, hit me up. You won't have to tip me.
You're not just hiring regular
Yo,
cleaners.
I ended on the joke. Hit the buzzer. Jesus, pay attention to the show. Thank you.
a little tact.
Oh, this is awesome.
I don't know this one.
Eagle, roll this video. Roll this video.
I don't know this one.
Good.
Can I see it?
Can we see it?
Oh, this guy. Why did I have a picture of A-Rod there?
It's coming up.
It's going good.
Saw this.
What are some of the things that you're trying to focus on here in the off-season program?
Just trying to get good, be good.
Trying to get good.
And while you're trying to be good, Coach said last week
I love you,
that
the
you had some
reporters.
linebacker there. We saw you working on some takeoffs today. How are those things coming, and how new and different are they for you now?
It's going pretty good.
What's his deal though?
Just doesn't want to talk to the media.
Was there something that happened?
So, I mean, a couple
That's what I know
years,
of.
into the NFL.
I love that he tries to leave.
Yeah, then like
No. We have a question about California.
Pretty good.
They even tried to like tug on his like his soft strings.
And what happened in California. California who are concerned, that are your fans, you know, what should they know about what you were going through? What's the message to them?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Hey, you know what?
I don't know if you
He answered
heard
every
the
question.
support from
It's true.
folks. I just saw a lot.
Can't
on social
cooperative.
media.
Can't get fined.
What was that like for you?
I'm just here so I don't get
you
fined.
know, your supporters reaching out.
I'm good. All right, thanks, guys.
What did you feel about the supporters reaching out? It was good.
Which is a good answer.
Yeah.
I don't mind this at all because it's actually entertaining as opposed to like hockey interviews where, you know, it's the same 12 sentences over and over again.
It gave us content. It allowed us to fill
That's
2
it.
minutes.
So what's that last bit now we got going on?
Go ahead, Duke.
We're going to be doing a spelling bee,
No,
boys.
there's one more left.
A's Rod.
you have one segment,
This is new format. New
dude.
format.
A-Rod, there's a picture of A-Rod taking a dump, and it's circulating internet.
I'll take a dump right now.
Was he perhaps sitting while peeing, though? Maybe not a man move.
Show
Not
me this picture.
beta move.
Do we have the
Eagle
picture?
find it. No, we don't have the picture, but
Oh.
Eagle will find it. It's pretty easy to
Oh,
find.
it probably doesn't exist because A-Rod's fighting really hard for people not to find
Yeah.
it.
So he's taking a dump. Why does he want people?
The worst thing is, like, he
Appar-
looks really graceful.
Where is he taking his dump? At home?
Yeah.
What's wrong with this picture?
Nothing. Like, honestly, I saw it and I was like,
Was he reading or something? He's on his phone.
yeah. Like, but
But
have you ever
99%
seen-
of the population
Here's the
does.
thing is, I know what I look like when I'm taking a dump. There's no way I'm that handsome.
I just-
Yeah,
he's good
I
looking.
just feel like I feel
Jesus,
for him,
man.
though.
How do you look that good all
But
the
he,
time?
I understand. He has no privacy.
But I feel for him, though. I
Also,
think
close
that
your blinds, though.
I think
No.
his issue is not so much about whether the picture's good or bad. It's about whether the fact that someone took a picture of him taking a shit.
Obviously. And where is that? Is that his place or is that a hotel?
Well, it says A on the towel.
No, if
so
it says his place, then Jennifer Lopez can be naked at that point. You know, and
Yeah,
somebody's
of
taking
course.
pictures.
That's probably
close
part of
your
his
blinds.
issues.
Yeah,
Just
but
close your
But if it's a
blinds.
hotel room, maybe there isn't, though.
but if you don't, yeah,
I've
it's
never
true.
been in a hotel room where there's no blinds.
That's true. A hotel
Never
room
been to
always have
Manhattan,
blinds.
bro.
I've been to Manhattan many times. Especially in Manhattan, there's almost
It's
blinds.
true. The
It's true, there
hotels
is
he
blinds.
stays at for sure have blinds.
Yeah.
Not the ones we stay at.
No, not the Arlington.
The Arlington.
Spelling bee?
Okay, spelling bee.
Yo,
Nice.
Eagle.
I got
Guys, do your jobs. Jesus. We're the only ones that work here?
Fuck.
Damn it! Damn it!
Why do you keep kicking the table?
Because it's no way. And I found a place for my foot finally.
Okay, let's go.
Okay,
So, this week, to make fun of the 8 kids who won the spelling bee, we are instead putting our skills to the test, where Terry and I are taking on a hot sauce bet to see who is dumber than a 6th grader by allowing Duke to provide us with words, and we're going to try to spell them.
all right. First one is aguillette. Terry, go for it.
Aguillette.
Can you use it in a sentence?
No,
Aguyettette.
wrong. Peace.
Oh, it's the same word?
Yes,
Aguillette. A-G-U-I.
wrong.
What is it?
I'm not saying it.
Okay,
You're both
go on.
wrong.
Next word.
How do we know you're making it up then?
All right,
Yeah.
all right. The answer is AIGUILLETTE.
We also know if he's pronouncing it right.
Aiguillette is French. We should ask the
Aiguillette.
if
That's
we
true.
asked the origin, we would have got it. I think.
Okay, next one is Pendeluec.
I want the origin, and I want you to say it again because I guarantee that's not how it's pronounced.
Okay, the word is Pendeloque.
Pendeloque. Pease goes first. Pendeloque. What's the origin? Does it say where you found this stuff from?
It's a pear-shaped diamond ring.
Pendeloque. Okay, that helps a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Pendeloch.
Wrong.
Okay,
CH
I'm
at the
gonna
end,
go. Yeah, the ending. I think you're off. Is Pendeloke.
Wrong.
It's OACH, isn't
No,
it?
it's LOQUE.
QUE.
Pendeloque. Okay.
So it's French.
It's French.
Okay,
It's
so
all
that-
just French.
A good thing I asked for the origin. Fuck.
the next one is referring to a duck's webbed feet, and the word is Palama.
Palama.
Terry?
Palama.
Actually, no. This time it's going to be peace.
All right?
All right.
We just
Okay,
did peace.
Terry, you go.
Doesn't really matter who goes first.
Because we're both going to get it wrong.
Palama.
Can't wait to see you on Instagram Live. bud.
Palama. P-E-L.
Wrong.
All right.
Palama?
Yeah,
So you know where I made the mistake.
P-E was wrong?
Yeah.
it's Palama.
Palama.
Oh, good thing you pronounced it properly.
P-A-
What the fuck kind of a spelling bee is this, man?
P-A-L-L-E-M-A.
Wrong. Palama.
Palama.
You're also
So
asking,
you're saying Pelama and it's Palama.
you're also asking the person who has the worst pronunciation on the whole show to do this. So
Actually,
Okay.
why this is good TV.
Okay, the last one is referring to a dead houseplant that droops in its pot. I didn't realize that's a thing. But
yeah, everyone knows that.
So the word is Suronis.
Suronis? Is it my Suronis? Nice. SC.
Actually, wait, let me repronounce that.
Wrong.
Cernuous.
Cernuous.
It changes everything. Okay, go. You.
SIR.
Wrong.
Okay. C.
Yes.
I.
No.
Okay, what is it?
It's CERNUOUS.
I was gonna get that, except I instead of E. I'm a genius. I win.
You don't win. We're both thinking on
One last one.
last one,
Okay,
always
a term was coined by Baron Karl von Reichenbach,
He's
and
dead.
the word is Odlig.
Odley?
Odlig.
O-D-E?
Wrong.
L-I-K.
OED.
Wrong.
There's no words.
ODYLIC.
God damn it.
Alright, let's get the fuck out of here.
So clearly, you guys are ranked lower than the 8 children.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know how 8 kids won when these words are all impossible. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Eagle. Thank you, Duke. Thank you all for watching. This has been Hot Sauce Sports.
Farted.
You've been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.